So all armor does is just give you extra health, and the amount of health it gives you is based on the durability. So for example, the support exo armor gives you 62 extra health on top of your base 100 health. Now usually what happens is the higher tier armor you have, the lower running and aiming speed you have. So for example, again, the X armor has 62 durability, highest any armor has, but it has a 10% reduction in running speed and aiming speed. It's also worth mentioning that the helmet is separate from the chest, and so you will have less durability on your helmet than your chest plate, and if you lose your chest plate, you will retain your helmet, and vice versa. And also the helmet has its own debuffs, so if you're running like a heavy or an exo helmet, you're going to have an additional 7.5% reduction. So you have to add that to the 10% you lose for exo armor, or however much you lose on heavy. So in this case, it would be 10% running and aiming speed plus 7.5% from the helmet, so it would be 17.5% total loss, and that's not including the weapon. Another thing that is very important is once you lose your armor, you actually maintain the running speed and aiming speed debuff. So even though you reap no benefits from the armor, you still have the running speed and aiming speed debuff. Now, for what armor you should run for each class, it really comes down to preference. I always recommend that you run the medic class. It's the best class in the game. And for the medic class, here's what I will most definitely recommend. Normal armor, for the most part. I actually run ranger armor because of the increased primary magazine. You get 2 extra mags with the ranger armor, where the normal armor you only get 4 extra mags. So if you compare the two, 6 versus 5, you lose 13 durability on the ranger armor, but since I'm medic, after that first firefight, my normal armor is going to be gone anyways, so I don't really see a point in losing 2 magazines for an extra 13 health. And since I live very long, just makes the most amount of sense to me. Now, this really comes down to preference, so if you are not running out of mags as quickly as I am, then run the normal armor. For support, I can wholeheartedly recommend running EXO. I think that the class overall just has very low running speed and aiming speed regardless of if you wear just normal or heavy armor, so you might as well get that extra 62 HP on your chest and 37 on your head, rather than trying to compensate for something that the class really isn't designed for. If you're trying to run fast, just play medic. The only other class that I can wholeheartedly recommend something for is the engineer. I would recommend normal rather than heavy because you're chasing vehicles, and to have that extra, to have a slower running speed and aiming speed, it's stupid. Also, it's very important to note here that you should always equip a helmet. The 10% extra aiming speed you get is kind of pointless, and it's not going to win you any fights. And actually, it's going to make you lose more fights because since this is a blocky game, you have a very blocky head, and it's quite large compared to other games like Apex Legends. It's a lot faster paced, and the heads are fucking very, very small. This game's too blocky to run no helmet armor, so please, 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 wear your helmets, guys. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.